Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of What's Brewing. In today's episode, we are honored to have the Mayor of Broussard sitting with us, Mayor Ray Bourque. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and roll that B-roll. All right. Mr. Mayor, thank you for taking time out to do an episode of What's Brewing with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Definitely. So go ahead and just introduce yourself to everybody back home.
So my name is Ray Bourque. I'm the mayor of the City of Broussard.
So you're Mayor of Broussard. What made you decide to run for mayor?
Well, I served 2 terms as a councilman in Broussard for District 3, so that's 2 4-year terms, so a total of 8 years. At the end of that second term, it was clear to me that I wanted to run for mayor. I wanted to be mayor. I felt like I was very engaged with our city. I had been really, just spending so much time as a councilman involved with, our city problems, our city projects, that it just came as a natural progression for me to sort of take the lead role as the administrator and try to push some projects forward that I felt that were important for the city.
That's awesome. So whenever you first day in office, what was one of the main things you wanted to do?
There were several things, but one of the main things was a project we're still working on now, was taking a real hard look, a professional look at redeveloping our downtown area. For several years when I was a councilman, we knew that there were problems with the infrastructure in downtown Broussard. It's been over 60 years since Broussard has had any significant improvements in our downtown area. But it's a complicated set of circumstances there, and we sort of had to put a game plan together on engaging with the community, engaging with the civil engineers, and deciding what the right path would be for such a complicated complicated project. So we were able to do that with the help of Greg Gautreaux through LEDA and a gentleman named Jeff Dyer who worked for B&A Planning Group. And we basically developed a master plan to engage with our citizens of Broussard. We had a few public events, and we were able to set forth a plan to carve the downtown improvements into 3 projects. And I'm proud to say that we're about complete with phase 1 now. We hope to be finished with phase 1 by the end of this current year, and it's going to be the gateway into the downtown area coming from Lafayette on Pinhook.
Now, within that phase 1, what were some of the things that were all entailed in it and what's going to lead into phase 2?
So phase 1 is all about the entrance into Broussard, the gateway corridor when you come from Lafayette. So we'll see a significant drainage improvement. We'll see a 10-foot multi-use and sidewalk path. We'll see the cleaning up and the lighting of more than a dozen of our historic oak trees that line both sides of that entrance. A road improvement, and just a general beautification improvement in phase 1. So as that ends, and also, a signalized traffic intersection between South Bernard and Main. So big gateway sign that welcomes you into Broussard. And as that project ends, we'll be getting into the heart of the downtown improvement, which is between Clara Street near Sacred Heart Church and St. DePorus near the railroad tracks on Main Street. That'll be phase 2. So nice entrance, beautiful entrance into Broussard, a place where pedestrians can bike and walk and have a safe route to come into the downtown area as we move into phase 2 and get into the real meat of the downtown area.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's going to be a very special project that should just pay dividends for us for decades to come.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good to hear that you guys are starting to put together those kind of things, because I know with what happened in 2016 with a lot of different areas around the parish, that we were highly affected by drainage. And it's good to see that you're taking initiative to start getting those kind of improvements repaired, and 2, also to start getting Broussard looking the way that you envision.
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, the downtown area is the center of Broussard. It's the heart of Broussard. It's where it all started for Broussard. So making those kind of improvements are culturally valuable to the citizens of Broussard. You know, do we take pride in our city? Are we interested in our past? Does it tell a story that other people want to hear? All those questions came up. Even though a lot of what we're doing is simple infrastructure improvements, so the things underground that, you know, as long as they're working, nobody really thinks about them. Those improvements need to happen, and it's sort of what was the driver of how we got here today. Knowing we had to improve those things kind of opened up the opportunity as we fix them. How do we put the street back, and how do we improve downtown once we open the ground and close it? What was it going to look the same, or do we have an opportunity to do something higher, a higher level for our city? And the answer was yes, we do. So let's do that. Why don't we do everything we can to show the world that we're proud of Broussard, we're proud of who we are, where we came from, and invite them to come share in our story, spend time in our downtown area, open up opportunities for new businesses to invest in our downtown area, which incidentally is happening already. If you travel downtown Broussard, you'll see a number of old homes that were bought and remodeled either for rental properties or business locations, and capitalism is sort of responding to what we're doing, which is exactly what we want. You know, we want people to make the investment in our downtown area, invest with us, because we think it's a very, very special place.
I think that's an amazing thing what you're doing for industry and also just for the community. It has a central location. Also, other products that you guys put into place was like the new sporting complex that y'all did for Broussard. That gives more things for the residents to have fun, more places for us to go. And it's really, really nice to have that. Definitely as a business that's here in Broussard, it's good to have those kinds of growth. So we thank y'all for doing that.
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, we all live here. It's our community, and we want to make it, you know, the best community we can. So we're all enjoying these things, and you know, the better community we can build and support here, the better it is for all of us. If people want to live here, if they want to raise families here, if they want to work here, they want to bring a business here, that's good for all of us. You know, it takes all those things to have a healthy, vibrant community. So we have to think about all those levels from the city government side to make sure we're meeting those needs, and we're doing what we can to invest in the community at all of those levels, because my mom's still here. I raised my children here. My wife and I still live here. Your business is here. All of those things are important. They're all part of a whole community, and you know, that's what we have to plan for. If we're going to have sustainable growth, you know, we need our community to be strong and vibrant, and that's I think that's the overall thinking that's going on. Each part in the machine has to work to have just a healthy product on the other side.
That's amazing. And you mentioned business, so that's a good segue into the next topic of discussion here. There was some recent news that I saw come across with you guys and one at Acadiana.
Yes.
Go ahead and elaborate a little bit about what that was.
So this past Friday, we had an announcement that Broussard with One Acadiana and Louisiana Economic Development at the state level, we're able to announce that 3 more certified sites have been accredited in Broussard. So that's really exciting for us. That gives us a total of 4 sites in Broussard. 3 are available. The very first site that we announced a little over a year ago is now the home of Oshner's and Safe Source Direct manufacturing facility. The building's being built on that site now. So we're really excited about that. I mean, it took a lot of hard work, and it took a lot of different people to participate to get us to this point. But what it does is put us on the map with sites that we're inviting industry or manufacturers to come in, build a new facility, bring more jobs to Broussard, that sort of thing. So when One Acadiana, our local Broussard Economic Development Board, our chamber, the city can all come together and sort of invest in these sort of projects and help it along the way. It just puts us on the roadmap at the state level to invite people to come to Broussard, and it creates shovel-ready areas, shovel-ready properties in the city to make it very quick and convenient for the next industry to come in and build a facility there.
See, to me, that's amazing. It's good to hear that, you know, because one, you're like you said, you're focusing on your residents, so you're focused on beautifying your downtown, you're focusing on making it work sustainable, and then you're also looking to grow. Not just grow your residents here in town, but also grow your industry here in town. And by having, I think you said four
certified sites now.
4 certified sites, and I believe one of them is already taken by
the Oxnard Safe Source Direct PPE facility, correct?
PPE facility, and that's automatically going to pump new jobs, pump new income for this area.
That's right.
For its residents, and those kinds of things are key when you're trying to do the growth. And to me, it's just amazing how from where it was before you became mayor to where it is now, it's leaps and bounds. And there's one thing I remember from when I was talking with Stacy, is exactly how integrated all the different departments are within the city and how y'all all work together. What are some of the ways that you've all worked together to kind of bring these kind of things to fruition?
Well, I mean, something I absolutely believe in is the power of partnerships. I mentioned our Economic Development Board and Wanakita and LED working together. The ceiling's higher when we work together. We can raise the bar on what's achievable and what success looks like. And, in my opinion, we always owe a lot of credit to other people when we succeed. Currently, our Economic Development Board is their own board. Our Broussard Chamber is run by Stacey Romero and her group there, a board run also. And then there's the City of Broussard. So we all exist as different entities, but working together, we're able to understand what the goals of each organizations are and help each other achieve those goals. And fortunately, all the goals that I'm running across from these other groups are all good for our city. So we want to help each other succeed. A big part of good management is helping others succeed. So a lot of times, you hear the complaints. I mean, we're a local, small city community government. Our job is to help people be successful, right? That's the fundamentally easiest thing you can do to have general community health. We have some very strong local religious organizations in the city. We've reached out to them, we've partnered with them. We just want them to know we're here to help them. They have their own fairs, they have their own events. We want to be part of their success because it's good for the people of Broussard. We want those things to be fundamentally healthy in our city because we want people to come here and be successful, which means good neighborhoods, good jobs, opportunities for better jobs, opportunities to put a business here and have customers here, all of those things. So keeping close contact with all the groups that are in Broussard and just having one-to-one conversations with them about what success looks like for them gets them to participate in the goals that we have and vice versa. And that's how we build a better community, in my opinion. We bring people together. And when we do that, things work.
All right, so I have just 3 more questions.
Sure.
There's one thing when I came into the office today. There's one thing that you were doing that, to me, uniquely says a lot about you. Was a member of your community needed some help with something, and you were on the phone making phone calls to help it out. Can you just go ahead and just kind of talk about that?
Well, I was on the phone with a resident of Broussard who calls me up every once in a while. He just needed some very simple help. He had some roadside branches that needed to be picked up, and he was checking on it to see when the next pickup would be. And that's generally part of my day every day. It's important to people to be able to kind of speak one-to-one, I think, with their elected officials. And at this level, I mean, Broussard is, small town, big business, but we need to know each other. And I'm a real proponent of that. It's, one of the meetings that I have with some residents of Broussard, I always open the meeting this way. In Broussard, we're all neighbors. Doesn't matter if you live across town here, there, you work here, you live here. We're all neighbors. We should know each other. And kind of when we group people together and we talk or just about anything Broussard, it gives us an opportunity to be a closer knit community and kind of help each other to be successful in what we're doing here. So I welcome that, a resident calling me with some, a problem with their trash can or a problem with their, branches in their yard. Those are easy problems for me to solve. It's just a little bit of help. I'll make a phone call and we can help them, so those are some of the best parts of my day, to be honest with you.
That's great. I guess next thing is, what's the future hold for Broussard?
So next levels for our community are to continue pushing through drainage improvements, to continue to pushing through making sure that we can handle the traffic and the growth that Broussard's having. You can have city growth that's not healthy growth. So we want to make sure that we're growing in a healthy way. 2,200 new jobs coming to our city is going to mean traffic's going to increase quite a bit. We're working with DOTD in the state because they're continuing to do improvements on Highway 90 because they're turning it into the I-49 connector. So our next overpass project is going to start early next year, and it is the Ambassador Caffrey overpass. So we're in for a couple of years worth of work there, but very significant improvements that DOTD is bringing to Broussard. We were able about 18 months ago to get the lease on Arsenal Park, which is the oldest park in Broussard, I believe, one of for sure. So now Broussard leases and manages that park, and it's all part of our downtown redevelopment that is going to be redesigned as a festival grounds and green space park with walking paths, etc. for our residents, helping us develop our downtown area, hopefully with some office space and those kind of jobs here. We have to fulfill some needs from our police and fire department, which is a new facility for both. So we bought 10 acres next to Arsenal Park to be able to do that. I think some very significant wins in the first 3 years of our new administration and you know, the new council package that we've been working with, setting ourselves up for some real bigger successes in the futures. Kind of setting that foundation where Broussard will be ready to make those leaps economically, in job numbers, in population numbers, and in growth. So we have to have that solid foundation if it will be sustainable.
That's amazing to hear. To me, like all of it is just great, and I'm really excited for the future of what is going to be coming to Broussard. All the things that you got in place. I'm definitely excited for that new venue area that you're going to be doing with Arsenal Park.
So am I.
Because I love going to come over in Louisiana. We're South Louisiana. We love our festivals.
We do.
We love our festivals.
Work hard, play hard.
Exactly. I guess last thing is just where can they find more up-to-date information or keep up with things that are going on in the city of Broussard and ways to maybe engage with you?
So a couple of things. Broussard is the proud owner of a couple of new websites now. So the City of Broussard website, citybroussard.com, had been revamped earlier this year. We needed to get the technology updated on that website. Now you can buy a permit on that website, pay your bills, get all relevant information on council meetings, contact information, all those sorts of things. So I encourage our residents to take a look at it. You can report problems there if you see a pothole or your garbage doesn't get picked up on the day it's supposed to be picked up. Whatever it is, a street light is out, report it to us, and it's a very efficient way that we can get our hands on those emails and move to a solution. Secondly, we just launched a new website called discoverbroussard.com, and it's all about tourism in Broussard, places to eat, telling you about things to do. Part of our marketing plan to really tell the story of Broussard and invite people to learn about us and come here and kind of enjoy the culture that we have. We have some events that we do in Broussard, and it'd be wonderful to have people meet us at those events. The Chief of Police, Chief Olivier, and myself are starting to do a once-a-month coffee with the mayor and chief. We just had one recently, and we were at Jet Coffee. We move locations around every month, so it was great to see residents and just have a cup of coffee with people and talk to them about our city, you know. So if you follow us on social media, citybroussard.com, Facebook page for City of Broussard, or on my personal Mayor Ray Bourque Facebook page, you'll see those events coming up, and you can just kind of jump on, show up, and come have a conversation and a cup of coffee with us. So all of those events are and ways that we can connect with people are sort of being elevated in Broussard. We're trying to make sure that we have easier ways for people to communicate, especially in the COVID world that we're functioning in right now. You know, the way we communicate with people is going to be different. The way we do business is going to be different. But we're still going to find a way to connect with people and be a community. And we're going to push projects in Broussard to sort of raise that bar on what's achievable.
Well, Mr. Mayor, that is amazing to hear, and thank you for taking time with us today for our episode of What's Brewing.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for locating a business in Broussard. That is a choice, and you're choosing to be in our community and in our city, and we appreciate you for that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And well, that's going to do it for us here over at What's Brewing. Go check out a few of the websites that he said, and also go like the City of Broussard on Facebook to keep up with all the new information coming to the city. But like I said, that's going to do it for us over here. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep up with all the content that we're producing, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.